Nurse found dead at Mandeville apartment. Police are probing the death of a nurse who was found face down in an apartment at Hillside, Knockpatrick on Saturday night. Police name her as Navenor Knight, 42, a resident of Knockpatrick, Manchester. Detectives are probing how Knight died and have so far collected statements from two people, including a man who was said to be romantically involved with her. A police report said that about 9 p.m., one of the two men who live at the apartment stumbled on Knight's body near a doorway in the vicinity of a kitchen. The police were alerted and the scene processed. Police stated they saw what appeared to be blood on Knight's mouth. Police also said there was no visible mark of violence on her body. A reliable source said her car was parked at some considerable distance away from the apartment. Sources also say Knight was married to a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, but is said to have been separated from him. Police are awaiting an autopsy to determine the cause of her death. Mayor of Mandeville, Donovan Mitchell, said Knight was assigned to the Manchester Infirmary as a patient care assistant PCA. I have learned of the death of a member of my staff from the Manchester Infirmary, one of our PCAs, and I'm out here just to get some information. I have spoken to the police. They have not suspected any foul play at this time, but they're doing their investigations, and I have asked them to do a thorough as to the circumstances of her death, he noted. At this time, I just want to pay my condolences to her mother, children, and her siblings, and to the members of staff at the infirmary. We're now going to be bringing in some counseling for them on Monday, added Mitchell. Taxi operator charged with possession of ganja. A taxi operator has been charged with possession and dealing in ganja following an operation on the Ramble Main Road in Hanover on Friday. Charged is 51-year-old Arville Richards of South Sea Park, White House, Westmoreland. Reports from the Lucy police are that about 5:30 p.m., lawmen were in the area when they saw Richards driving a Nissan AD wagon along the roadway. He was signaled to stop, however, he disobeyed the police and sped off. Richards was pursued and the vehicle was intercepted. He was accosted and searched, and a search of the vehicle was also conducted, the police noted. During the search, one plastic bag with ganja was reportedly found in his possession. Richards was subsequently taken into custody and charged following an interview in the presence of his attorney. His court date has not been finalized. CPFSA reports significant progress in efforts to protect children living and working on the nation's streets. The Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA, has indicated that significant progress was made in its drive to support and protect children living and working on the nation's streets. This was done through the Street and Working Children Initiative. The intervention was launched last June in 8 high-priority communities across the island. These include Yalas in St. Thomas, Majestic Gardens in Kingston, Old Harbour in St. Catherine, Rocky Point in Clarendon, Parry Town at Ocherus in St. Anne, Portmore in St. Mary, and Retirement in St. James. The campaign is being executed by Mobac Limited, a company development organization contracted by the CPFSA. The initiative is direct response to finding from a 2020 study commissioned by the CPFSA, which revealed that children as young as 5 years old were actively engaged in street hustling and vending. The study identified over 300 children who were living or working on the streets across 9 parishes. These children were often exposed to exploitation, abuse, and limited access to education, stemming primarily from poverty, family breakdown, and systematic neglect. Since its launch, the Fiwi Pitney intervention has reached 170 children across the identified communities. Of these, 115 received counseling support, 130 were referred to other state agencies for further assistance, and 21 have been reintegrated into the formal school system. Additionally, over 245 families have been assisted through counseling, social welfare support, and guidance to re-enroll their children in school. About 160 community outreach sessions were conducted to promote child protection and parenting best practices. Chief Executive Officer of the CPFSA, Doris Adams Thomas, said the initiative is already having a visible impact in the targeted communities. Mrs. Adams Thomas emphasized that the initiative is part of CPFSA's broader effort to reduce the number of children entering state care. Meantime, Chief Executive Officer of Mobac Limited, Mobafa Baker, described the work as a transformational for families who were previously overlooked. Building on the success of the first phase, the CPFSA is preparing to implement phase 2 of the Street and Working Child Initiative in new communities.
We are seeing fewer children on the streets in areas where they were once frequent. That is a direct result of the strong partnerships and consistent engagement with families and community members. This is not just about removing children from harm, but about empowering their families and communities to keep them safe in school and thriving. With just the completion of phase 1, we now have 170 children less on the streets. 170 children who have been redirected from a perilous path. 170 children who will not be coming into state care. Every child we can keep safely in their community with the right support systems around them is a child we are protecting from long-term trauma and institutionalization. That is the heart of what this program represents.
Through the Fui Picnic Community Intervention Initiative, we have seen firsthand the extraordinary resilience of families, especially those of children who live and work on the streets. These children need someone to listen, to guide, and to advocate for them. The moment we begin believing in their potential and showing up consistently, what we've seen is that transformation can happen. This initiative placed someone in their corner, someone who believes that they have a promising future and supports them to achieve their goals and dreams. Our team has seen the results of this every single day. We see it when children return to school or find direction, or when parents or caregivers gain vital employment skills and the documentation needed to rebuild their lives.
2 men charged over seizure of 81 rounds of ammunition in Tivoli Gardens. The police have charged 2 men in connection with the seizure of 81 rounds of ammunition found in a vehicle they were in while parking Tivoli Gardens, Kingston on Saturday. Charged with possession of a prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, dealing in prohibited weapons, trafficking prohibited weapons, and stockpiling prohibited weapons, are 31-year-old Jamal Reed of Tivoli Gardens and 31-year-old Romar Brown of Burlington Avenue, Kingston 10. The police report that personnel assigned to the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Division, CTOC, were conducting an operation when they stopped and searched a grey Mazda vehicle on Sangster Crescent. Police say the ammunition was discovered hidden behind the passenger seat. Both men were taken into custody and subsequently charged. A court date is to be set for the men to appear in court. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.